Well, good morning, everyone. It's 9:30, so we'll call the Board of Commissioners regular meeting for January 24th, 2024 to order. We are here in the Courthouse Auditorium and live via Zoom on audio-video conference. And we'll start the meeting today with the Pledge of Allegiance, so if you'll please stand and follow me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, we'll move into our request for and discussion of non-agenda items. We do have a 5-minute limit pursuant to the codified ordinances of Jackson County, section 213.06. Members of the public may address any item not on the agenda. However, pursuant to ORS 192.640, the Board of Commissioners is prohibited from discussing a principal subject that is not on the agenda. Therefore, the Board of Commissioners will listen to your concerns and may consider the matter you raise by asking staff to follow up on any questions or by placing the matter on the agenda for discussion at a future meeting. We do have one person signed up today in the auditorium. That's Logan Vaughn. Please come give your name and address for the record before speaking. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Logan Vaughn. I live at 1116 Murray Avenue, Medford, and I'm also a PCP here for Jackson County. I'm here today to just kind of share something with the board and just with general public. I'm sure you might have heard it before. It'll only take me about 3 minutes, but it's something that I just want to be brought to attention and put on my heart to share. If I were the devil, if I were the prince of darkness, I want to engulf the whole world in darkness. And I'd have 1/3 of its real estate and 4/5 of its population. But I wouldn't be happy until I'd seized the ripest apple on the tree, thee. So I'd set about, however necessary, to take over the United States. I'd subvert the churches first. I'd begin with a campaign of whispers, with the wisdom of a serpent. I would whisper to you as I whispered to Eve, do as you please. To the young, I would whisper that the Bible is a myth. I would convince them that man created God instead of the other way around. I would confide that what was bad is good and what was good is square. And the old I would teach to pray after me, Our Father, who art in Washington. And then I would get organized. I'd educate authors in how to make lurid literature exciting so that anything else would appear dull and uninteresting. I'd threaten TV with dirtier movies and vice versa. I'd peddle narcotics to whom I could. I'd sell alcohol to ladies and gentlemen of distinction. I'd tranquilize the rest with pills. If I were the devil, I'd soon have families at war with themselves, churches at war with themselves, and nations at war with themselves, until each of its in its own turn was consumed. And with a promise of higher ratings, I'd have memorizing media fanning the flames. If I were the devil, I would encourage schools to refine young intellects, but neglect to discipline emotions. Just let those run wild, until before you knew it, you'd had to have drug-sniffing dogs and metal detectors at every schoolhouse door. Within a decade, I'd have prisons overflowing. I'd have judges promoting pornography. Soon I could evict God from the courthouse, then from the schoolhouse, and then from the House of Congress. And in his own churches, I would substitute psychology for religion and deify science. I would lure priests and pastors into misusing boys and girls and church money. If I were the devil, I'd make the symbol of Easter an egg and the symbol of Christmas a bottle. And what do you bet I could get whole states to promote gambling as a way to get rich? I would caution against extremes in hard work, in patriotism, in moral conduct. I would convince the young that marriage is old-fashioned, that swinging is more fun, that what you see on TV is the way to be, and thus I could undress you in public, and I could lure you into bed with a disease for which there is no cure. In other words, if I were the devil, I'd just keep on doing what he's doing. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, do we have anybody online? Raise your Zoom hand if you'd like to come in.
Mr. Chair, I do not have anyone with their Zoom hand raised to speak.
Thank you. Looks like we've got someone else here in the auditorium. Come on up.
Good morning. Joyce Michelangelo, Central Point. And last week I talked about wildfires being man-made or arson or wildfires. And I have found out that we do have wildfires that are sometimes accidentally caused by men or women while they're doing their work. But it's still a wildfire, whether it's an accidental man-made or whether it is by nature, is still something that we want to protect our area from anyone choosing to do the backfires and during fire season. It is during fire season, we believe that it should only be fire suppression that you're working on. I would also hope that we could get more professional loggers, the privilege to go out and help maintain our forests. If you have professional loggers out there, they are managing the forest. They are getting rid of the extra load that's out there that could be catching fire. They're also making sure that trees aren't too close together, or there's spots where extra trees could be there. So having our loggers, professional loggers, back in the system would be a good thing for our area, and it also brings monies to our county that would take the burden off of some of our citizens. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else before we move on? Okay, then we will move on into the consent calendar, which this week consists of the minutes of meetings of the Board of Commissioners work session for January 2nd, 2024, the Board of Commissioners regular meeting for January 3rd, 2024, and the Board of Commissioners staff meeting for January 4th, 2024.
And I will move approval of the consent calendar.
I'll second. Commissioner Daughter?
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts?
Yes.
Commissioner Dyer?
Yes, thank you. No public hearings today, so we'll move on into discussion and deliberation items. First item there is an order authorizing amendment number 1 to Jackson County Personal Services Contract dated April 12th, 2023 with Asante, and this is order number 19-24. Mr. Jordan.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, members of the board, this is one of those cases where the contract being amended will extend beyond a year, so it requires it to be brought before the board. Asante does contract currently with Jackson County Health and Human Services Department. This is for funding that they use to hire opioid use disorder navigators. That position provides specialized training that's really needed to identify patients with opioid use disorders, then turn around and coordinate with outpatient resources for those patients. They follow up with post-discharge to ensure the patient's engaged in outpatient substance use treatment. And they also work with doctors and other medical staff to increase knowledge around opioid use disorders, best practices, and in this case, they also develop a means of feedback from both the patient and staff involved with these services. The term of that original contract was April 1st of 2023 through March 31st of 2024. This amendment number 1 will extend it from April 1st of 2024 through July 31st of 2024. As I said, resulting in the term exceeding 12 months, requiring authorization by the board. There is no financial impact because of this extension, but I do want the board to know the original contract was for $40,000 and it was funded by opioid settlement dollars. Sorry.
Thank you. Any questions?
No, I will move to approve order number 19-24.
Second.
Commissioner Roberts?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughter?
Yes.
Commissioner Dyer?
Yes. Thank you. Okay, last item on the agenda today is an order authorizing a software as a service agreement with Camp Life LLC, order number 20-24. Mr. Jordan.
And Mr. Chair, members of the board, in this case, our Jackson County Road and Parks Department's actually been using Camp Life LLC software to provide our customers with the ability to reserve our campsites and other recreational amenities in Jackson County. This is done through an online reservation system. It's been in place since 2016. The department does desire to enter into a new agreement to continue with their services. Term of the agreement's upon execution through 5 years. It would automatically renew for additional 1-year terms unless it's terminated as provided for by the agreement. It's an annual expense of $23,400, and I do recommend your approval.
All right.
I will move approval of order number 20-24.
I will second that.
Commissioner Daughter,
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner Dyer.
Yes, thank you. And that does conclude our business today, so we are adjourned.
We hope that you have enjoyed this week's Jackson County Board of Commissioners meeting. If you have any questions on any part of the show, please feel free to contact your Jackson County Commissioners or staff. You can find their contact information at jacksoncountyor.gov. To review the content of this or any other recent meeting, under the Government tab, under Recorded Meetings, click on RVTV Live Streaming.